everybody doing? My name's Mike, and I got Mr. Archie with us today. We're going to go ahead and work him in his sit and his heel and just do our basic routine with us. I have my dog's Roots hanging out on place. We have Kai over here hanging out on place, which is the housemate of this dog. They're both about the same age and they're puppies. It's one thing you do not want to do is get two puppies at the same time. That's a whole nother video, but one puppy is a full-time job. Two are just unmanageable. So we have a leash on Kai, so that way if he gets up or anything like that, breaks the place command, I have access to get him through the leash, right? So if he doesn't have a leash, I'm not going to be able to have access to the dog or even correct the dog or bring the dog back to the position I want him in. So this is how you manage more than one dog in a room. This is the only way it can be done. You have to teach the dog, hey, you have to teach the dog that they can remain on one place when you're working with another dog. So let's go ahead and get Archie started here. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Good sit. Good job. Heel. Sit. Good boy. So if the dog doesn't sit, I'll just put a little pressure on the collar, just very slight pressure to signal to the dog to go ahead and sit. Heel. Good boy. I can also use my hand with this dog, hey, to kind of keep him back if he starts to get ahead. Hey, sit. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Good sit. Sit. So now I'll have him remain in a sit. I'm petting him on the head to keep him sitting. That's a little trick that will keep the dog sitting. Good boy. Heel. So even though I go close to the place, it's this dog's job to come with me. I give a little correction if he doesn't sit. Good boy. Good job. Heel. Sit. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Nope. Sit. So I correct him. If he looks backwards at that dog, I tell him, nope, sit. Because when I tell the dog to sit, I want the dog's attention on me, ideally, but the dog has to remain in that sit. So if the dog looks behind himself, he's going to end up following in the direction that he's looking. So if his head is that way, his body is going to follow his head. That's why we correct them for even looking. Sit. Good boy. Good sit, buddy. Good job. Good sit. Good job, Archie. Heel. And I don't think I mentioned before, but Archie here was trained by another dog trainer, sit, doing heel, doing sit, treat, positive reinforcement, treat training is what sit is what I like to call it, meaning sit. So you see the dog scratching, he's actually he's actually trying to scratch the collar off. So I want him to remain in the sit, so I am correcting him for that. So he was taught by someone else only with treats, positive reinforcement, which if you see this whole time, sit, I'm giving positive reinforcement. The example is heel, heel. Sit. No, sit. Heel. Sit. Good boy. So when the dog sits on his own, good boy, and I give a pet. That's the treat. That's the positive reinforcement. So we are using positive reinforcement. Now, with the other style of training, what typically happens is they won't punish the dog for anything. They will only reward them. Make a long story short, that training is they're not successful, it is not effective, and almost every single dog that comes into my home has been treat trained previously to training with a leash and using all four quadrants of learning that involves reinforcement and punishment. Heel. And as you can see, when you use all quadrants of learning with the dog, sit, the dog learns much better. This dog was pulling very hard, like most dogs that come in here, pulling as hard as he can to get places, and he actually had something going on medical with his neck. We don't know if that's related to pulling or not, but I can tell you that, pressure on a dog's neck like that is not going to be good. Good boy, good down. So since he laid down, I'm taking advantage of that, and I haven't taught him down yet, so I'm just pairing the behavior of what he did with the word, the command. So when I go to teach it to him later, it will actually help me. Down. Good boy. That's a good down, buddy. Good boy. So what happened is the dog's becoming so submissive. Remember, after another trainer trained this dog with treats, the dog was excited all the time, pulling, barking. Now the dog has been taught heel and how to sit. The dog now just goes and lays down on its own because he is waiting for me. He's okay with waiting for me, so he says, wow, he's going to stand here. I'm going to go ahead and just lay down for him. So that's very good. Again, we want training that's going to be effective and make the dog have a calm state of mind. Okay, come on, heel. So if the dog doesn't come, we give a little tug-tug. We don't want them playing too much around when they lay down. We don't want them like rolling everywhere. Sit. Good boy. Good sit. Hey, sit. So he looks behind and tell him sit. Good job. Heel. Sit. Good boy. So this is as good as a treat for the dog. Me petting the dog is just as good as a treat. Actually, I argue that it's better because a treat will get the dog excited. And if this dog's already excited, and that's why they call me, is because down. Good boy. Good down. They call me because the dog's excited. All the symptoms you see is from an excited dog. So the jumping, biting, barking, all those things, urinating in the home, it all comes from excitement. So we would never take a treat out, which would get the dog more excited and takes more repetitions to get the same behaviors that you're seeing me get from Archie right now. Good boy. Heel. Atta boy. Good job. Now I'm telling him good boy because he didn't make me pull him to get him up. Sit. Atta boy. That's a good boy. Heel. Sit. Atta boy. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Good job. So we don't say stay, we just tell the dog sit. If I want the dog to stay, I repeat the original command. We don't say stay. I tell the dog to sit. Because if the dog moves, sit. If the dog moves and I say stay, I meant I want you to keep sitting. So we don't use the stay. That will just confuse the dog. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Good job. All right. So that's it for today. You know, we just want him to have success. Good boy. We want him to have success, especially good boy down. We want him to have success, especially around Kai, the one he lives with. They both have to get used to them being in the room and not having to run around each other, chase each other, bite, bark, or whatever it is they were doing before they came to me. They have to be like this, you know. They have to be relaxed. He can be on his own spot, entertaining himself with the bone while I'm working with the dog here, and vice versa. They both need to learn how to do that. And like I said, if you have more than one dog, you have to teach your dogs a place command. There's no other way you're going to be able to actually control the dog. Without this dog would just run up to me and interrupt the exercise, and it wouldn't be beneficial for the dog that I'm trying to teach. Also, this dog, these dogs, they are all observing, learning, and they all gain respect for me when they see that I'm controlling this dog, and this dog gains respect for me when he sees I'm controlling both of these dogs.